Love, exciting and new. Come aboard. We're expecting you and love like sweetest reward. Some other words and a new vacuum. The love group promises lawsuits for everyone. The love group. Down, boy, down. Get back in your cage. Get back in your cage. If this is me. Rob, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? How are you doing today? I will await your answer. What I'm gonna do today, give my tools some love. What I'm gonna do today is give these tools some love. Oh yeah, gonna sharpen our blades. We're gonna test out our blades. We're gonna make sure we get our tools A-okay today. That was Get Your Life Together by West Desert on the Love Station. Woodwork, Wesley. What's going on, Mitchell? How you doing? Happy Valentine's Day to you, too. Going on, Rob? You said you're good. How am I? A-okay. Jesse, salute to you. How you doing today? We got the whole squad showing up. We got the whole family in the building. It's a good day. So far, so good. Y'all take care of your loved ones this morning. My wife is up there napping off breakfast. I am probably wearing y'all out with these knives, but they are going out this week. And I like them so much. They are literally my favorite knives I ever made because they're my last two. And that's usually the way it goes with art, you know. Your last stuff is your favorite stuff until your next stuff. But I want to bring these planes back, make sure everything is good with them. There's also a couple of things I want to do is maybe build a little shooting board, maybe build a little hole fat, you know, where they put the little clamp there and then you know what I'm saying? A little quickie. That'll help me test these out as I sharpen them and tune them. There's 6 of them. So it's going to be a little bit of work. So I want to have something that I can test them on right here easily. I don't have to take you over there to that thing every single time. So let me think which is a good way to build something that'll hold everything right here. Let's see if I got some scraps. Let's see if I got some scraps. I do. Smoke. I sent mine off to work for the day of the wife. Oh, right on. Heck yeah, Jesse, I'm rocking the red. I'm holding it down for the day. Trying to be Wesley Valentine, baby. Keep digging. Only thing about Wesley Valentine is you can't see a damn thing. These are so cool. If you put them on, it's like all the reds are like not reds, but everything that's light. Any light source is like crazy, vibrant, bright neon red, and everything else is like looks like 3D. But you can't make out anything because red, I think, as we know, on the color spectrum is very similar to black, which is why you can't write on red on black and still read it. Anyways, yeah, I gotta take these off now so I don't cut my fingers off. But it was fun. It was fun. All right, there is some sort of way where you can have wood cut at some sort of angle where you can put stuff in it and it'll like pinch it. Right? You know what I'm talking about? We'll just think through it. So I could just do that. But then it's like you put a little notch right there, maybe, to stop it. Maybe a little stop notch. And then I boom, hold that down, and I can just press that against there. Right? Right. Let's keep it simple. I'm not a smart man. All right. We can do that right over here. Where we at? Can you see me? We can do that here just to go fast. Ouch! Ouch! I hit my finger and cut it. Not worry. It was okay. A little stupid, but okay. Good guy. All right. I'm going to attempt to cut a notch out of this, but I'm going to use a little stop block in front of it to kind of push it back off of that blade so the blade doesn't get all the way through it, but just to the corner so it can knock that notch down. Does that make sense? No, less. And Turned out not to be a bad looking piece of little scrap, right? Look at that. I'm keeping it. That's cute. Okay, so. Oh, did I notch it the wrong freaking way? Yeah. So it'll stop right there. You just pinch that right there and just hold it in place. It'll give me some sort of test mechanism. All right, let's just do that. Keep it. That makes sense to keep going with that cut. I'm gonna be right back. I need to make that longer. Look at me doing it all again. Risking it all for my friends. Maybe I should cut that on the table saw. Please tell me your Valentine's Day stories. Let me know you're taking care of the peoples you love. Or yourself. And yourself. Because you are one of the people you love, hopefully. I love me enough to make a decision to spare my fingers any agony or potential grief by utilizing my tool here. I'm going to go right into that cut. Just a little bit tighter. So I'll start that cut. And then what I'll do is stop that cut partially through. Like that. It's good enough for me if it's good enough for you. Open it up a little bit. I'm only going to go to where I've completely penetrated that wood, which would be about right there. This is the only sled I have ever made or used for this table saw, and I've made dozens of kitchens. I'll show you how I built it one of these days. Not much to do, and then I move that out of the way. I know where I want it now. It's just set to where I want it now. Hit the button. It's one of those days, not much to do. I was chilling downtown with my old school crew. I just line up with the side of my, line up the cut I want with the side of my sled here. And I'm good to go. Get that fence out of the way. Because a circular blade, right, it doesn't go all the way through if you stop it where the line is. You can flip it. Let it all work out. Let's go over here. Oh, that pinched my finger just now. All right, I'm back. I'm back, baby. Oh, yeah. So, let's say we did this thing, because it's going to be, we'll be using something about this size anyway. So our cuts with. You can smack it right there. We don't even need it that whole way, that long. Let's just do him right there and right there. That'll give me a little quick stop. Shouldn't prevent anything else. That's what we'll do when it's time to do that. But first, we take these apart and we start to work on them. We're going to tuck these little tools back here. First thing we're going to do is clean this up. I'm going to vacuum all this dust off of it so we can see what we've actually got here. Pardon the noise. We're going to do this one tool at a time. I've got 6 of these. We're going to check them and work on them one at a time because they are all the same size. They have very similar parts and they can easily be mixed up, but they don't also fit exactly right with each other or interchangeable. So I'm going to get some water for my whetstones. And then I'll be back in there right along with you. Right along with your crew. Yeah. Sometimes I just got so much soul and I can't hold it back. You know what that's like. You know what that's like. You've been there. I'm cleaning out the bottom of my pan that I keep these in. There's a lot of slush and slurry down there. That'll be good in a second. I keep thinking I might put a sink in the shop, like nearby, like so I don't have to leave. Just build in a plumbing and a new sink or something. I'll see how I feel about it once I finish that bathroom. All right. Nice and clean with no caffeine. Don't appear on spandex or even tight jeans. Don't believe the girls with Chinese cuts, but I take them with the weave hanging down to their butts. You always need to bring your best friend with you to work. This is mine. My best buddy is WD-40. Oh, wet hands and latex gloves don't work well, do they? Like, not at all, really. It's what I'm learning in this moment. I persist forward, unscathed. Ugh. That is super grippy. As soon as I do this, I'm probably going to have to touch something on my phone that's going to need the heat from my fingers. Oh. What a voyage. What a voyage. Get them likes up, says John Parham. He's not playing games with y'all right now. If I was you, I would do what he says. This guy looks crazy to me. Best just to do what he says. Don't make a fuss. This will all be over in a second. Just be cool. You should get WD-40 to sponsor a couple of videos for the West Desert 40 channel. Could be. It could be. I mean, we're getting close to those kinds of ideas, potentially. Not in this, may go forward. Did you know that this little nut right here, this little screw, Stanley made these? Well, they'll do that. So you don't have to bring an additional tool in. Bam. Isn't that something? Now, look at that. We got some rust settling in on this. I don't think that's a huge deal, but we are going to take this frog off and get it together. This is a Stanley number 4. This is a USA made post World War II, I believe. This is made in the 1940s, if Google was accurate in their assessment. I am no expert myself. Let's see if I can get a little more of that dust out of here. I probably should put a mask on. That I shall do. It might be bummy, it might be slummy, it might be corny, but I ain't no dummy. You got some Venom gloves that are easy to put on. That's pretty cool. He said, I can't like it again unless I take my original down first. Please don't dislike my video. Yeah, it's cool that they did that, Metro. They thought of everything. I mean, they made these things for 100 years. Pretty incredible. I've got a pair of these. This one was the first one I bought. I got it off of Marketplace with all the parts. All the parts were in good condition. The blade, of course, needed some attention. And the chip breaker needed some attention. I watched a bunch of videos and saw how to handle it and got it working pretty good. And then I got the other 5 that I own in a bundle of Facebook Marketplace. And that was pretty amazing. I am going to go ahead and fully disassemble this, just so that I don't scratch up any of these things. And I may do some work on these parts as well. But I don't want to devalue them. And I only slightly care about that. I just don't want to disrespect the tool. After all, I've got 6 of them and they all work. I may get rid of them, 1 or 2 or 3. or do a giveaway or something. Been known to happen. Hey, good morning, Orami. How's your coffee today, family? We're gonna be as gentle as we can be. I'm getting that screw out. It goes all the way down into that. Looks to be in the good shape we left it in. We'll probably put some WD on these right here. I don't think we need to rust proof anything here. We'll set those to the side. It's a little rusty, but we knew that. Same here. Let's go ahead and put down a little blue cloth. Will look like mechanics. Get all our parts appropriately situated, so that nothing's missing at any point. I don't see a single thing I'm going to need to do with this other than dust it off. So I'll do that right fast. I do have an air compressor with a blower. It's just not in the shop. It's on the back of the truck right now. And does that stuff put a bunch of dust in the air when I do it that way? Probably need to get me a little tiny vacuum attachment to my wet vac, my shop vacs. Now the reason that probably two reasons why I got some rust on this is cast iron will get that surface rust on it if you're not very specific about keeping it stored, like inside of a closed environment is best, inside of a cabinet with a door or something like that. And treating the bottom of the iron fairly often helps. But from my understanding, this is just what happens with cast iron time to time. So what I'm going to do here is hit it that, and then I'm going to give it some little light sands with some barely going to bother it type of sandpaper. Maybe something in a 400 grit. And we're just going to essentially work some of that WD in, work some of that surface rust off and out. This feels aggressive enough that you can feel it when it's making contact with that rust. But once you're not, it's a fairly smooth rub. It doesn't feel very aggressive at all beyond that. Always going with the length of the sole. And you know, not everybody's going to recommend that you do this by hand, but for what I'm doing, it's fine. I'm not flattening anything. I'm just sanding off surface rust. Getting some of that oil potentially worked into our tool. And this is just a wet dry. Missing plain parts, sounds like a Boeing. 3 cups in, octaned up, getting stuff done. Just taking a break, dropped in to see what conditions your condition was in. Well, Rami, you got away with words, friend. You got away with words. James Rainey says I should have bought a planer a long time ago. Thanks for reminding me where I'm lacking, cuz no problem. Restoration in process, says Jesse. Good morning, Jess. But just a couple of pieces of chalk will take moisture level down whenever you keep the tools. Thanks, Mitchell. That's a good idea. Couple pieces of chalk. Right on. Do you think, like, if I put a little Arm& Hammer dealy up there, opened up, that might do something? I hadn't done anything with the plane that I needed to plane in a while. And I've been kind of itching to do something. Still coming up with ideas. All right, I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit. Check the inside. Inside looks good. I'm gonna hit this very, very lightly. I wish I had a little rag for this one though. I might go 1500 on this. A little less aggressive. I don't want to mess up the chrome any worse. So this is just an aesthetic here anyway. Might come back with some polish later, but I only have aluminum polish, and I think it gets limited results on chrome. This is a 1500 grit, so it's not going to beat up on it too bad. But my first concern is getting that surface rust off, getting some oil in it and on it. Through and about it. I think I am out of my Evapor Rust. Haven't had any here for a while. It's really good stuff. And there is some formulas people come up with online that they say is equally good. Uh, I'm not big on mixing chemicals personally. Cause I'm timid about it because I haven't done it much. Uh, but yeah, don't know. All right. Doing some protection on the tools. Look at that. Ugh. That ain't good. We definitely got to do something to prevent that from happening. That can't be good. Run that 1500 on it. Trying to ease my way around this curve. Don't necessarily want to get to that blade just yet. This is sort of a slow go with the 1500, but that's sort of what I want. Because what I won't be doing is putting a bunch of deep scratches in it while I'm working off this rust. I don't want to go backwards when I'm going forward on something else. And this method has seemed to work pretty good for me so far. So I'll try not to upset you too much with my unorthodoxness. And just give me a little curvature and stay inside of that curve, outside of that blade for now. I will let the paper part of the sandpaper sort of drag over that edge, but with no pressure from my finger, just happenstance sort of. Because the blade was sharp when it was put away. Not going to be the same, but if I just use the paper itself as the pressure, then we can lightly go over that, or whatever that rust off is, hopefully. And then we'll get back to getting that edge right. Sometimes the gentle work is the work that needs to be done. Strength ain't strength if you can't control it. It's a Stanley number 4. I wouldn't say it's a. I don't think a Stanley number 4 is considered a jack plane. I think a number 5 or number 7 would be considered a jack plane. But I am no expert. So, but anybody in the chat who does know could absolutely give me more info. I don't know exactly what category. I'm being frank. And Frank's an honest man. Let's see. Mouthfuls of blood, equally screwy. Let's see what we can do about that. We're just going to go straight to the 15 on that one, too. Get us a little more fun juice. And again, I'm not going to put pressure on this blade aside from what that paper will do. Just after the surface rust and to get some saturation of oil on this team. And then after we're done with all that, we'll wipe all of these off. Once we've cleaned them all up from the rust. Is it tar on there? No. This is just old surface rust that formed. I've probably cleaned this. I probably sharpened this blade maybe 4 or 5 months ago. I've used it sparingly because I just rotate on each of these planes when I actually have something to do with them, which has not been very often lately. But so none of them get an abundance of use, but all of them get some use. This black stuff, maybe some of that residual. Um, when you use the evapor rust, it will leave a little film behind often, um, and that's not really a big deal. And you can do this and get it off. But I think over time, it seems like it thickens up and darkens up a little bit because yeah, these are these are taking a little bit of time. Get right. And I may leave this to the sharpening to get that little bit off, but I don't want to get stuff worked into my stones if that is something that maybe have, like you said, a tar potentially, uh, that maybe come out of a piece of wood I've been cutting. But I'm definitely gonna have to put this on the stones. Because that is a buildup of something that is not just rush, BK. You might be right. I'm gonna have to separate um, these sandpapers from the others since they're oil now. Oh, that's coming along though. All right. I'm gonna just hit the back of this just out of curiosity, just with the 400, just to see how well that comes back, if that comes back. Back to it. Gotta go have fun, stay creative. Thanks, Arami. Thank you for coming by. I enjoy you. We all do. If I'm careless, I'm likely to blend in with the rest of them, and you don't want that. Jeez, you don't want that, buddy. Now I'm just after what, you know, the cleanliness of the matter. I just want to make sure I knock off anything that could be later on eating away at this metal. If there is any pits, I want oil in them. If there are any bumps, I want them off. Let this old DJ muscle memory come back. And I'm seeing like little nick on that blade now. Right there. Right. Now, that's going to mean filing that edge and reshaping that blade profile. All right. I think I am going to put a little bit of this on here just to be sure. I'll hit all the little parts real quick. Little blast of the good stuff. Here are the threads. That one's okay. And those are all the mechanic half. That. Let's go ahead and clean it off. We'll go ahead and cut this blade now. Get that together. But we'll go ahead and clean this stuff off. Wipe it down for the most part. I have flattened all of the bases of all of my planes already. And recently enough that I'm not really worried about flat. So I am going to skip that step on every single one of them. Oh, sorry, I'm not being as mindful of this camera sometimes. Sorry. I'm not going to work this to any excess because I'm not 100% sure what to do with that over the plating. So I'm going to leave it be, make sure I get some oil in it and on it, but I'm not going to stress it too much. I'm going to clean out inside of there. Get build up over time. And this thing Obviously seen a lot of time. Okay. Here's our frog. What I'm doing is just backing the screw up to expose all the threads. And then I'm going to hit those threads with some WD-40 as well. That's about as far as I need to go. Dust all the little stuff out of it. Yeah, just do it right over top of the other tools. No problem. And this isn't fancy stuff, just a little art brush. All purpose. Gotta be able to get in there, that's it. And again, we're not going to do a full refurb, but some routine maintenance to make sure it works and cuts. Keeps everything good so that when we do reach for it, we can trust it. And it's clean little froggy. I always put these on wrong. Like every time I do it completely backwards. Every time. Every bloody time, because something will be in the way. And I'll be like, that thing's in the way. And then I'll be like, hey, you gotta move it back out of your way. First, WD-40. And these things go counterclockwise for whatever weird reason. I guess there's no point in putting this together without fixing this blade. Fix this blade. Get all this oiliness to the side. Bathed in oil. Doesn't look great, doesn't look bad. But we do have a little chip. Little chip in it. And we gotta address it. Let's put some what do we got? Permanent marker. Dry permanent marker. Squeaky, dry, gently permanent, mediocre marker. Not me so much. We already know who was the king, and we already know I was tripping for not grabbing you first. On me. So again, little black marker right on the rim. Help us tell the story visually as we go. The first thing we need to do is get that flat across there. Because right now it ain't. It's not a lot we gotta do, really. It's not incredibly ratchet thing. Let's see. Let's try sandpaper first. Where do we have a nice, flat, usable surface? Close enough. And what grit shall we go with to start? Let's start with a nice 80. Let's see. Now, we got quite a bunch of space under there to get that flat. So, like a bunch. What if we go that way? That would be all right. Be right back. All right. Press that right there. That'll be tight enough for now. What you doing? Oh my God. Flat. Straight. And that is done. Now, go ahead and get this off here. And we can go ahead and move up sanding scale. Just fold that right over like so. A little water like so. I know it. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm ruining this blade. You're right. You are so right. Oh my God, I can't believe you're doing that. How do you even do that? This guy's a hack. All right. We're going to move up from that 150. See if we can get ourselves to a 220. I only have this small stuff here, so like that, just so you can see it. And we're going to go from that to the 400 wet. And because this is not a blade per se, we're not trying to get a sharp edge. We're trying to get a straight, flat, consistent edge. Hey, Tim Reed, how you doing? Thanks for showing up. Good to see you. Good to see you. I'll be putting down the wrong stuff. I'm going to set this to the side right now because I think that's okay for now. I'm going to work on that. And I think we're going to go back to this 80 grit rig I just made because we got a chip in that right here. Maybe you can see it better. But the chip is no good. We got to flatten that. We got to flatten it all the way across and get the whole thing done. What the heck is he doing? This guy's gonna ruin everything. Is it gone? Is it gone? It's gone. So fast. Hmm. I'm just barely sliding that across there because I don't want any debris from the sharpening filling the gaps in the tip of that blade and tricking me into thinking that it's not straight, or it's tricking me into thinking it is when it isn't. I can still see that chip there. I know that hurts your feelings. Quite a bit for me too. Not easy growing up like this. Random sharpenings. You never know what's gonna set that blade off, you know. But we get through, you know, together. What we're doing is now flattening the edge. As soon as we've got a consistent scratch pattern on the edge that says this is one plane, we'll move on. Looks like now. Let's see if we can find that 220 again. There she is. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and get into the whets. I'm going to start with the 400. And we're going to try our very best to do this without the honing device. Let's give us a little bit more hot water. These have been submerged for probably 20 minutes or so. Give them a little touch up here and there to carry off that extra burr. I'm gonna go ahead and flip the stone over, move on to the 1000 grit side. Again, these are the Amazon Basics whetstones. It seems to vary pretty heavily on how many pulls you'll have to do for what particular tool, what type of metal, etc., etc. But to just look at it and check your pattern, your scratch pattern. It's lighter. As you go up the grits, it changes visually a little bit. You can see what's new and what's old. Well, I got you in here, Mr. McCall. Just while I got you in here, I'm gonna pause this for 1 second, folks. Here are the two tools I was talking to you about. There's this one, much smaller than what you have now, about maybe a little less than half the size of the blade of your current one. And then, where's that? There's the oak one. Ugh. Where the frick is it? There's an oak one I got somewhere around here with an even thinner blade. That blade is probably closer to that size. Anyway, you've got them in your Facebook email. You let me know. I'll get something out to you. That is looking good. Now, I'm going to tell you, it's my first time freehand sharpening a plane blade. I've done plenty with the honing tool. This will be my first time. On the stone, freehanding it. I'm hoping sincerely that I don't ruin my blade, make it crooked or warped or weird. But the important part is to know that if you get a chip in it, or just the blade gets funky, it's fixable. Takes a little time like an afternoon, but does not take a lot of money. Takes some persistence, because we basically have cut off the edge of the blade when we did that. So now we've got to put it back, and we've got to do it gradual. I don't honestly feel like I'm going as straight as I would be with a honing tool. But I don't want to be fully reliant on that thing. You know what I mean? I don't. All right. We'll move up to the 3000 grit on the Amazon Basics Whetstone Collection. Doing some work on an 80-year-old hand plane. That white side always. I'm going up to the 8000 grit now. I get pretty light when I'm on this stone. Try not to put too much pressure. And I'm doing a lot of listening on this stone. So let's see if this thing is as uneven as it's showing on that. Go ahead. Start figuring how to put this thing back together. I like to try to get close to that edge as possible and still be able to see the blade distinctly different on the other side. And, you know, different strokes for different folks on that. Adjust it as needed for yourself. That needs blades on the bottom. Frogs this way. That should sit in there. That should sit there somehow. These two. Go down a little at a time with their two washers. Get one started. Leave it loose. And then you get the other started. Leave it loose. And then you get them slightly snug. And you back them back out. And then you just try to get that frog. All up in there as best you can. I'm just turning this little knob behind there, creeping it forward so that it can ride clean with the mouth inside there. That's the knob that I'm adjusting to move that frog forward. Once it's there, also want it centered. I'm going to go forward a little squeak more. And then I'm going to start to lock these washers and nuts down right here, holding the frog on. Now, all planes are weirdly a little bit different. So you still may have to come back and make some of these adjustments for some of these things. But here we are. Now, once it can do that, you know it's seated. And then you can go ahead and lock in. But I didn't put my handle on yet, so I got to move that out of the way so that I can. We got some WD in it. Should be good to just go on in. There's a little nipple on the underside of that kind of falls into a little slot too. That helps hold it straight and helps it seat a little better. As I turn, I'm sort of feeling for that. Keeping it a little bit loose at the bottom and a little wiggly until you kind of feel it snap into where it's supposed to be. All right. Good to go there. Put a lever cap on. And lock down too easy. A little 8th of a turn maybe. Nope. Maybe another. That felt snug. It looks good at least. Adjust a little bit. That blade. And then for right now we look good. Let's see if we'll cut wood. We got our little contraptions down here. So I can just clamp that to the desk here. I'll try to do that on this other side so you don't have to worry about it in your visual. You're gonna probably have to have one of them pretty visually available on the other side, unfortunately. Da, da, da. A mushroom hike, that'll be cool. Oh, that's dope. Call, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, brother. So if I got this here, I got this here. All right, that should be possible. But instead of that, what I'm gonna do, a nice little piece of cedar, and use that. And if I've got that there, I just need sort of a minimum clamp there, maybe. Will that work? Yeah, sort of. It'll keep that in place. It works. Let's see. Just first off, I already see that my clamp on this side, I'm going to bump into it as soon as I make a good slice. You're going to have to get the behind the scenes action now. The handle's just up too high. Oh! What the what? What's that? I need a smaller clamp. I'm going to go get one. Not to worry. Okay, right here. I'm coming. Don't jump off of it. Oh, that's annoying. Get out of the way. All right. The things we do. I wish I were already set up for y'all a little bit better, but you know how we do over here. We sort of figure it out as we go. Today's been no exception. Tomorrow's looking similar. All right. So let's see if, in fact, if this plane will work. Getting some little snippets. A lot of clickety clack. we're gonna move around too. Don't make me cry on TV. Jeez. Gonna make me cry in front of my friends. Let's see. Let's just do that. Hope for the best. We were getting a good shaving right there. That we were getting. Very jumpy. Now, we're getting nice, thin, full shavings. But maybe that frog giving me too tight fit right there. Well, we know it's cutting. Let's see if we got any gap. No. We don't have a problem between our blade. I think our frog's just a little close. Loosen that up a little bit. Loosen these up. Just a hair. I'm going to adjust that screw back. Pull that frog a little bit away from the throat. Tighten these back up. See if that helps us. Got the mouth a little open. Let's see if it makes a difference. Not grabbing anything yet. Tighten it up. Right now, what I'm tightening is that. And what that's doing is pushing me forward, pushing that blade down. Let's look at it from beneath so we can see when we get there. We're traveling a bit further. I'll turn this quite a lot. I'm just barely peeking out below that sole. Let's see if that's what we want. This thing really don't want to just hold right there. Like, I need additional clamps, which sucks. What if I just put something here? Just too wiggly. I need something over here to pinch it. But if I put another F clamp, it's too high. It's going to be in the way of my stroke. Terrible. I got to come back even further. is just, see how I'm jamming up? Let's see if it's catching in between there. I may need to back away from my chip breaker just a little bit. If you didn't know, the chip breaker is the top half. I'm gonna pull that back a little bit. It might give me a little more room to let that shaving roll over. All these adjustments are there for a reason. So let's try them. All right. It's knocking this edge off. It's crazy part. Bad habit of not going through that cut. That's just too hot. It's taking too thick a shaving. Same for that. That's better. That's even better. Things rolling now. If I could hold it, worth a crap. But what we ended up with is a good, sharp, functional plane that's doing what we want it to do and adjusting beautifully. Now, what we don't have is a good shooting board. And I know that's not a shooting board, but you know what I'm talking about. So I may need to make one of those. That might be a good video to just make a little quick DIY, sit it on here, shuffle my stuff. Not too bad. Not too bad. Thanks, BK. I appreciate you being an encouraging force. I appreciate you. Goob, how you doing? AR, AYR. Happy Sunday to you. Happy Valentine's Day. Well, it's Saturday, technically. Well, so we got one of these tuned up. It looks good, feels good. But check it. Let me take the mask off. I'm going to be back here a few more times today. And anybody who is down, I want to give this away to somebody today. Now, I've got 2 hook knives now. I don't need to. And somebody somewhere doesn't have any, and they're interested in woodworking. I'm sure of it. And if they are, there's an opportunity for you, my friend. So, stick around. When you see me pop up, come through at some point today. I'm giving out this love. Giving out this love. Hook knife and the case. Super cool stuff. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, BK, I think that would be a great size for a bowl. What up, Johnny? Well, I guess I can be Where's Wes. I mean, like a W right there. I don't know. But if you'd be interested in this, all you have to do is go to the community page. I'll post it up and some photos of it. And you just say I want it. And if you're a member and you want to be in there, you'll be in the drawing. If you're not a member and you want to be in there, you'll be in the drawing. It'll just be a 2-to-1 thing because the members will go in twice. So, see y'all later. And I'll post this right away, probably within the next 10 minutes. And then y'all can let me know if you'd be interested in it. And draw a winner and we'll get it to somebody. Cool, cool? Cool, cool. Till then, I'll see you then. West Desert. Thanks for hanging out. Happy Valentine's Day. Kiss somebody on the cheek today.